Something you'd like to share?
Yes, I have a couple things, just a full sheet.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. We had a pancake breakfast on Saturday. It started at 8 and went until 10:30. Pretty much everybody was up watching the parade at 10 o'clock. We had 63 people. After expenses, which were very minimal due to our wonderful donations, Joanne and I earned $199.18. So we split that evenly. I would like to thank my volunteers. I had 3 amazing volunteers. Yolanda Williams, Brian Perkins, oh my goodness, Janelle Rhodes, and Donald Duncan. He brought us a flower display, and Gary Nitschke donated some pancake mix. It was very wonderful.
Pastor did.
Oh, the pastor did. Thank you, Pastor Mike.
Also pastor.
And the next thing we have is, I've been thinking how we could get just our average citizen more knowledge about what kind of services we have. And the only thing that I could find in this shed are these sandwich boards. So I've been thinking, and I had a senior make us stickers for the sandwich boards. Not a whole bunch of stickers, but there was 2 sets. One for the cooling center, which is up and running when it hits 90 degrees. Another one which we do every Friday for free bread. So you see my sandwich board out on Friday for free bread. The senior owns JD Sign and Design, and they donated it free of charge, came in, did my sandwich board. The cooling center is Monday through Friday at 4:30. I look out my door, look at the police report. If it's over 90, we stay until 7. If it's under 90, we go home. So far, it's been under 90 at 4:30.
89.
It was 89. But, you know, it's not 90. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time for 90.
I'm sure if it was 89 degrees and you had people in there, you wouldn't give them the...
I wouldn't kick them out. But it was during the kids' parade, and everybody left before 4:30 anyway. I was staying there by myself, so... Joanne wanted me to let you know that Wednesday in the afternoon from 2 to 3, during the summertime, there's a jam session for the kids. They are the ones that will be making music. She has guitars, she has a drum set, she has an organ, and they're just going to be doing their own thing Wednesday from 2 to 3. There's also an exercise program for middle school age kids on Mondays from 2 to 3. It isn't like jazzercise. There's not going to be an instructor. She has tapes she's going to put them in, and they're just going to move their own way just to get some exercise. She has free lunches Monday through Friday from noon until 12:30. She averages 35 to 40 kids a day. Today, they had 61. They ran out of food. That happens. It's not very often, but 61 is an amazing number. Also, there's late night, the second Friday of the month. To let everybody know about that, that's over at the gym.
Who's sponsoring that?
It's a church, and I don't remember. The name of it. That's all I have. Is there any questions?
So today there was 61 kids and not enough lunch. Does that mean tomorrow they're going to bring their lunch for our...
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. I know that there wasn't enough hot lunches, but they have like peanut butter and jelly, they have yogurt, they have colder lunches, snack items like apples and peanut butter, that type of thing. I don't think that they turned anybody away, because they can always call LPAC. I guess they're based, like our region is based out of LPAC school, and it takes them like 15 minutes to load up and drive down here with more food. So they didn't have hot lunches.
Right.
For the 61.
So will they, since there was an increase today, will they increase the hot lunches tomorrow?
I'm not totally sure about that. I will ask Joanne. I'm not sure. Usually it's been running between 35 and 40 kids.
Yeah, the word's getting out.
Word's getting out. I'll ask Joanne about that.
Okay, any other questions from council?
Okay, thank you.
Congrats on the pancake. Good job.
Thanks.
Leanne, can I say anything?
Not at this time, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to other reports from council members. Councilmember Stichels.
Vic and myself met with Waste Management today, and we will have another meeting with them on Friday. Hopefully, we're gonna have some stuff to bring to council by the first Monday of August, and if we have that all together and it clears a workshop, we'll be able to vote on it on this first council meeting in August on the contract. And right now, the target date for the new rates and everything else would be effective the first of the year, because we've only got a short period of time. Once we approve the contract and everything else, they're going to be furnishing the cans to everybody, so everybody will have a can furnished, both waste, yard waste and your other way, regular waste and recycling. All those containers will be furnished to all the residents by Waste Management, and then the south area, Waste Management will have to bring in their containers, so they're going to have to get containers in to take care of our businesses down there that are now serviced by Murray's. So it just can't happen overnight. Even though our contract is up September 1st, we are going to work with their legal and our legal and make sure we have the right wording to put that extension between September 1 and the first of the year in place, so we don't have any problems with the Murray situation. Whatever we give Waste Management, we have to give Murray.
So do you think it would be prudent to have like an executive session before this contract so that council is aware of what is being negotiated or what's being talked about?
I don't know why it has to be behind closed doors. It's all.
If it's a negotiation.
It's time to be a negotiation.
Okay.
It's just.
I wouldn't have a problem if you just wanted to be educated on it, so that, because we are talking fee structure, that, you know, that may or may not get implemented, and if you would rather that be an executive session, just to be brought up to, up to date on what we are discussing and what our proposals are, and if you want to provide input, then we can do an executive session for that purpose, but we wouldn't be taking action after that
Right.
executive
I
session.
wouldn't expect that, but I would think an executive session would be in order so all of council is aware of what's being negotiated, what's being talked about during these negotiations regarding waste management.
I'll call that.
Is there going to be a public hearing so the public can state what kind of fees our neighbors in Federal Way are getting and what kind of service they're getting?
I don't think that we need to do a public hearing on it.
Well, before the negotiation process gets too deep along, you know, people in Federal Way have from Waste Management get a recycle bin included with their garbage fee, which is less than what I pay.
And that's some of the stuff that we need to be talking about, because I haven't seen any of the discussions that are taking place. I haven't seen any of it.
Well,
And I think all of council needs to be seeing it
the
as well.
reason I'm asking is I've been collecting information
So-
to
and we're
give
not
to
doing
council.
that.
Right, not now, but
I
when
would
is the
say
opportunity to share it with the
During
committee?
public comments.
So, and I think that would be the appropriate place and not to have a conversation back and forth. This is a conversation when it comes up to this point. Did you have a comment, Councilmember?
No, I was going to say, we need to stop the discussion.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, I'm not trying to discuss, I'm trying to find out what the
No comments from
opportunity is.
No comments from the audience at this point, please.
Okay.
Thank you. So, with that, we'll move forward with that, and hopefully maybe next week or the week after, actually bring that forward. I will not be here next Monday, so if we could bring it forward at the following meeting, that would be great. Have an executive session and discuss it, and maybe get some information out to council ahead of time. That'd be great if we can.
Is there a
All right.
reason we couldn't, as a council, have an executive session?
You can. I would just like to hear what the discussion is. I haven't heard anything. So I would like to be a part of it. Okay. Any other comments from council? any other reports from council? Boards and committees, finance committee.
One meeting tomorrow.
Okay. Governance committee?
The governance committee met on July 9th, and we have determined that the ordinance 20.72.050, parking area design, the beginning paragraph has an exception that excludes single-family dwellings on a single lot. So, in order to have this be enforceable for a single-family dwelling on a single lot, the exception needs to be removed, or parking needs to be defined for a single-family dwelling on a single lot. I sent a letter to the mayor and to Rich, laid that out. We also had a couple other ordinances that we're going to remove portions, and Josh is writing that up to bring forward to the council. So whereas.
And if I may, if the staff is going to be conducting a top-to-bottom review of the PMC anyway, I would suggest that we roll those into that to avoid the duplication of billable hours with the attorney.
Thank you.
We don't have another meeting scheduled yet, so because we're kind of ad hoc, I'll call you, Bill, when we have a meeting.
So, what we did determine is that, the way the RV ordinance was being enforced is not compliant with our code, so those letters need to be withdrawn, in our opinion. In my opinion, they need to be withdrawn. We didn't necessarily ask for everyone's opinion, but we all agree that the exclusion applies to single-family dwellings on a single lot. The reason we know that this has been addressed in the past is because it used to also include two-family dwellings on a single lot, and that was removed at some point in time by another council in the past.
Two-family dwellings or multi-family?
Two-family dwelling,
Okay.
a two-family dwelling on a single lot, if you look in the old code. So it used to be a little more liberal than it is now, and so there was some restrictions taken, restrictive action taken by a previous council, and it's, in my opinion, based on what I've read in previous code and what our current code is, and the action that had been taken by a previous code without actually seeing the ordinance or any discussion with it, is that there was an issue with two-family dwellings, and they decided not to allow an exception for those, but they maintained the exception for single-family dwellings, and for us to try to enforce an RV ordinance or parking more than 48 hours in front of your house or your driveway and the front yard setback is inappropriate by the city at this time.
Any comments from council?
It is one, the ordinance that made that amendment that Vic was discussing is not available in the mailroom. It's two ordinance numbers before the ones that are available as the binders, so we don't actually know exactly what the basis was for that decision or what other code changes might have been made at the same time. It's entirely possible that there used to be a separate parking restriction for a single family, a separate set of parking regulations for single family homes on single lots, and that was at some point cleaned up in error. So we don't know for sure what came before it, but we know that the immediately previous version had a restriction that applied to the exception was single family and duplex on a single lot, and the revision was to make it just single family on a single lot is exempt from those requirements.
Let's try to connect the dots.
It is really confusing.
It is, okay. So hence the reason that we're going to go through and look at all of our codes at one time. And Carol has been made aware of this, and she has looked at our code in the past and said that our code was enforceable the way it was written currently, but I brought this back to her attention, so we'll move forward looking. So with that, we'll continue on down that road, looking at all of our codes, and that has been done. Okay, so next, human services. Committee?
And we haven't scheduled it yet.
Public Safety Committee?
Do you have any updates on what we've been, that one project?
person that complained is very satisfied with the outcome.
So are we done with that then, do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we asked for a meeting, we had a number of things that we had asked to have a meeting. We want to get some other input from other council members on things that we wanted to have addressed at that meeting. And you asked me whether I'd write them down for you to bring them to you, because I thought I'd just bring them when it comes.
So we need to schedule a meeting and an agenda needs to be set.
Exactly.
Pardon me?
Yes.
So, okay. And so the agenda needs to be set prior to the meeting. I need to have a copy of that as well.
Did anybody email you? No? Okay, so none of the council have anything that they want to bring up or discuss? We were supposed to email me and Elaine. Really? Leanne said, they should all get addressed to Amy, and Amy hasn't gotten it, so everybody's good with it then?
I have a few things.
Okay.
So then we need to schedule a meeting and address those, but those things that you need addressed need to be submitted to Amy. So an agenda can be put together.
Right, where's that?
That's how the committees are running with agendas.
So you have to give it to Amy, and then we can have a meeting.
So we email Amy our question, and she'll forward it to you.
Right, so we don't need to create a quorum.
Quorum through an email.
Right. In violation of the Open Meetings Act, an incidental quorum.
And if you could get those emails off to Amy sooner as opposed to later, we can get a meeting set up. And then I'll contact you to find out do you have a good meeting time or better yet, do you have a bad meeting time?
I'm available. But it's Monday nights.
I'm sorry?
I'm available anytime.
Okay. You have a question?
Yeah, was there a specific topic that we were soliciting input from?
Public safety.
I didn't think there was.
I had asked you a question.
If you have questions regarding, that pertain to.
I brought up the personnel situation.
Right.
And asked that to go to public safety.
Yeah.
If there are any other issues as well. That was what was brought up at,
My workshop last week.
So go ahead, I need the Public Safety Committee then to schedule a meeting and agenda put together for that meeting, and let me know when that meeting is. Okay, anything else on that? Next item is Public Works Committee.
We met last Wednesday night, just up to date with, we will have HBO telling us down here in the resolution 2014-190. Also, just update on other projects going on. We should be starting to see some activity on 3rd Avenue right after the 1st of August. I would say, between the 1st and the 15th, probably.
Yeah.
So that will be from Butte to Chicago. We'll be regrinding and laying overlay.
Any questions? Thank you. Technology Committee?
Meet Thursday at 5.
Excellent. Civil Service Commission? Okay. Park Board? Somebody here from Park Board?
Nothing new to report?
Thank you, Terry. All right, Planning Commission? Nothing. Pierce County Regional Council? I think as soon as we have a community development person on board, we'll have reports from that. Sound Produce Association, I attended the meeting last week. They held it in Kirkland. They do that twice a year. It was fun getting there. I made it. They had a really great workshop prior to from Ogden, Wallace, and Mercer regarding marijuana regulations and what other cities are doing and where they're at. And they're not everybody's in the same agenda and trying to figure out what to do. And And there was a real education on moratoriums that cannot stay and bans, what happens if you do ban, and that was just their opinion from that law office. So, and council did get an opinion from our attorney regarding some of the other issues coming up for this week's meeting. All right, South County Transportation Board meets tomorrow, so I'll be going to that meeting. Valley Regional Fire Authority, is that where you're going to be?
There, but it was Tuesday.
Oh, that's right, so. They, it was business as usual. There was nothing new except for, I didn't know his name down, one of the gentlemen was promoted to captain of the firemen. What's his name?
Jason Herman.
Thank you. I couldn't see it, but I, thank you. Was promoted to captain at that meeting, so that was pretty cool. Okay.